Welcome to the DIY Wellness Coach Community Tips. I'm still working on those names. First, I want to just thank you guys for being with me. As you are seeing, as you're joining, that this is a very new app, a new forum, a new community. So we're building as we go. I'm actually creating rules as we go too, so please bear with me. Those introductory emails that I send out, I'm really looking for the best way to keep everybody's information and everything that you talk about safe and confidential, and being mindful that anyone can join. So we want to keep a community open because, again, this is really about helping as many people as possible, and it's about everybody growing and being able to grow, while at the same time you're able to use your growth, your experiences, to also help someone else grow along their path. So that's the coolest thing, to me about this community, is just really being in a place where you guys get to support each other. So it's, you have someone who is doing the research, I'm studying, and I'm going to guide the groups and guide the, naturally, the individual sessions, the coaching sessions. But at the same time, this also allows you guys to be in the leading seat for your wellness. And so that's the whole concept here, is about you being your own healer. And what that means is that, you know, as I've studied a lot of things that I've learned, it shows that you, the individual, you have the power to heal yourself. So when you go to anyone, you're sitting down in front of them and you're asking them for advice, but no matter what advice you get, no matter what book you read, no matter what education you receive, it's all about you implementing it. It's about how you implement it, it's about when you implement it, it's about why you implement it, it's about how it works and how it fits once you implement it, and it's also about how you adjust thereafter and make adjustments to either continue doing something that's working or to discontinue something that is not working. So it takes a lot of problem solving, a lot of critical thinking, and a lot of times we just don't know how to do it, or we don't have the tools. So we think that someone else is responsible or someone else can do it for us. What we really need are just people who can be our sounding board sometimes. We need people who can just receive our energy and take it in for us because we can't handle things right now. And sometimes we need people to help us figure out how to fix it. So that's what this community provides, and that's what it offers that opportunity to do. So a couple of things to note for this week is that we're actually, not this week, excuse me, this month, we're going to be talking about self-esteem. And so self-esteem is something that's really important. It's kind of at the core of our wellness. How we feel about ourselves, how we see ourselves, how we view ourselves is key. So this is a book that we're going to be going over. This is by Matthew McKay, PhD, and Patrick Fanning. Again, this is third edition. This is an awesome book that we're going to be working on because it does a few things for us. So in addition to actually going through and breaking down what self-esteem is, how to use self-esteem, we also have the ability to do activities out of this book. So what happens is that this book is going to allow you to get very familiar with your self-esteem, your self-confidence. It's going to break it down for certain things that challenge you, and it does it in a way that's extremely relatable. So this book actually breaks things down and talks to you as if it's speaking and you can hear your mind saying it as well. So it actually, like, chapter 2 talks about the pathological critic. And the pathological critic is actually that voice in your head that's always saying things repeatedly and incessantly. It's that voice that'll tell you that you're dumb, that you did something stupid. Sometimes it's attacking you, other times it kind of like kids and jokes at you. But no matter what, it's one of those things that kind of leaves a film or something behind. And over time, as you utilize that pathological critic, it just leaves layers and it becomes a weight and a barrier for yourself. So it breaks that down, but it does so in a way that you can actually hear your own pathological critic. And so it helps you be able to see you in that moment. So then again, you also have the activities that are in here, and these activities are made for you to actually move through your development. So you can actually do these activities and actually practice, and you can see more things. It's revealing and it helps you see yourself. Now, these are going to be little tips that I'm giving throughout the weeks as we go. But if you're looking for more as you go, if you can see that some of this information is helpful, but you want to dive in a little bit more, then you have access to the groups. And for the groups, what you can do, there's a few things with the groups that are pretty cool, is you can actually join an open group, and that's a group where it could be just anybody in there. But then you also can do a group where it's people that you decide that you want to be in the group with. So you can actually create a group of yourself and your friends. It could be coworkers, it could be a peer group, but you can do all of that within this online forum. And then I can come and facilitate that group for you, and it will be done through Zoom, or some other type of internet access. And what you can do is we would read this book together. So I have the hard copy, but I also listen to this on Audible, and I like to hear it, and I also like to see it, and I do my highlights that are in here, and it helps me follow along. But that's what we would do. So you can either read the book or you can listen to it on Audible. We would have a set amount of chapters or sections that we would cover in a certain amount of time. But the key thing is processing some of the material and then coming back together as a group, and we would have discussion topics. And then the unique thing is that here is where you present your actual real-time things that you're experiencing, or something that you have experienced that has challenged your self-esteem, and you get to discuss that as a group. And the really cool thing is of the group is because the group gives you a peer support. So this could, again, be the peer support group that you create, or it could be a peer support group that is selected, and it's random people who you don't know. But as you move through these and you talk together about things that you've experienced, you actually have that group to go back to real time. So let's say something happens at work and you didn't do it right, your boss got on you and now you're in flustered. You can actually message your group mates and share, and then things that you've worked on from the topics they can actually remind you of, and then it can also be presented in the group when we meet again, and it's something that can be worked through in real time. So this stops you from having to be the only person who is working through these activities. Sometimes when you're reading some of these books, they're great, but what happens is you get through the material and it's almost as if you're not sure if you applied it correctly, but you just don't feel like you are able to use it in the moment as much, or once you've done it once, you don't know how to recreate it for other moments. So this allows us to take our time to move through the material. We don't rush. And again, it creates the best environment for you, because if you do it with a group of girlfriends and you know that you all are working on self-esteem, it could be done in conjunction with if you have a workout routine that you're doing. It could be done if you are going to therapy sessions somewhere else. But all of this stuff becomes complementary, and it then gives you a holistic approach for how you're going to approach your wellness. So you have that. But I did say that there's another option. And so the additional option is that you can also do this book with me. This is the guided self-help group and the guided self-help individual coaching session. And what happens is the same thing that happens in the group can happen independently and individually. Sometimes we're working on things that are just a little too personal, or we're not that comfortable right yet to do it in a group. So you might want to start off working through this book or other books that we have available, but you might want to start working through this book with me individually. And we do the exact same thing as we kind of move through stage by stage and step by step things that the book is stating, and then we process that and apply it to what you're going through in life, and then we figure out how to implement that in your life, so then you can have a stronger foundation on how to deal with situations and challenges. And again, these are frameworks, so this isn't something that if you do it you're going to get this X result and that's that. These are things that you have to implement. You have to then see how it works. You have to come back and examine that, figure out if you're going to continue this or change something else. And that's what makes these behaviors really hard, because a lot of times we want to do it once. We want the people around us to get it and to change after we did it once, and we expect it to then maintain itself thereafter, which is great, but obviously that doesn't happen in life, because how many times do we wind up repeating ourselves to other people and ourselves to make change? So this is how you move into the seat of the healer, because it stops things from being so fast food deliverable, and it allows you to learn where you become the expert. It allows you to synthesize the information in a way that you're now applying it to what you've experienced, and now you're actually able to create something new from that. And that's what's really important. A lot of times we take in information, but we can't create something new from it. We cannot create a new behavior because we get stuck in energy cycles and patterns. So this helps us break some of those cycles and some of those emotional, energetic patterns that can free us and allows us to then try something new, experience it without necessarily being anxious or depressed about it, and then allowing us to then make choices on what we want to see happen further and then move through it thereafter. So that'll be the book. I'm going to be coming back with some more little tidbits, and I'll share those either through video, and sometimes there'll be postings, but this is how we're going to get started for this topic. And again, if you need anything, please reach out, and thank you so much again. I look forward to working with you all. I'm excited. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.